And I'm back with another review. This is for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 5, Episode 15. This is the season finale. Finally. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. If you haven't already, don't hesitate to subscribe. You know I'm trying to grow my channel. And be sure to like the video if you enjoy it. So we start right off with Melody, and she's getting a massage. And the first thing that came in my mind is, girl, gel up the hairs in the back, like on the nape of the neck. Like, just slick it up. Like, the front had the edge control. It was laid. In the back, girl, you knew the cameras was rolling today. On today. Yes. So Stormy comes. She's coming to chat with Melody, and Melody's pretending like she forgot that Stormy was coming with an entire camera crew set up and ready. Okay. But for me, I can't have no relaxing massage when I'm chit-chatting. And every time I get a massage, the masseuse, the massage therapist, whatever, talks the whole time. Like, I can't get them to be quiet. Like, I put it in there ahead of time, like, don't talk, and they talk anyway. Like, I just want to get a massage quietly. So then when Stormy sits down, she's like asking about the Destin trip. But Melody's like, the problems really started after that trip to Florida. Like, that's when all the problems came. And she said it was all over social media that Martell told his son's mother that she had the virus. And, you know, she was like, when she called him to confront him about it, he called her the other woman's name. And she was like, but you know what? It don't even bother me. It's fine. Stormy was like, do you think he was trying to be petty? Absolutely. That's what these two do. They're both petty with each other. So definitely. So Stormy asks Melody how she feels about Sheree. And Melody's like, you know what? That's not the first woman I seen him with. I mean, he was with a woman during a marriage. So, you know, why would I care about that? Like, she never did nothing to me. She also won't be the last woman you see him with. Just throwing that out there, in my opinion. So Melody said people just want her to have a problem with Sheree. Like, we was using Sheree's name all up and through this episode. I hope Sheree got paid a little, coin for all this mention. But, because they don't even say Arion's name on the show. Yeah, we saying Sheree's name, like, in every scene, it seems like. So she like, y'all, people just want the drama. Girl, not only are you on a reality show, but you pitched the idea for the reality show. Y'all two also like drama. Like, let's be clear. So Melody is still unsure if she's going to Martell's event. Girl, you knew you wasn't going the minute he asked. So Martell and Chris are walking through the outdoor event space for, was it a wine tasting? Because I didn't really see too many people tasting the wine. So Destiny arrives and she asks Martell about, him and Sheree. And then suddenly, like, I don't know how to edit and chop this up, but like out of thin air, she starts playing a clip from an interview that Melody did where she was speaking on his relationship with Sheree. And Melody said what she just said to Stormy, basically. Just in the interview, she said, look, I've seen him, obviously, with another woman whom he had a child with during the marriage. And so, yeah, I could care less. Like, don't care. So Destiny was just being straight messy, but it wasn't a good messy. It wasn't like, ooh, juicy. It was just unnecessary and uncalled for. And it was just random. And he getting upset like, oh, you have people babysitting my kids and all this stuff that I didn't know. Like, that's an odd comparison. Like, needing a babysitter and you bring in a loose woman who you are dating for a publicity stunt around your kids is two different things. Like, if it's not a serious relationship, she shouldn't be around my children, period. But that's my opinion. So then we see, after I said, you know what, it's not serious, we do know, I've seen pictures of Sheree allegedly sitting with his children. But I'm like, what are y'all doing? Come on now. He said he's been in therapy and he's been doing counseling for like a year, but Melody don't know that. And Destiny's like, do you think you should have told her that before it came on social media? Why does she need to know that? Like, y'all aren't together. Like, okay, and what that got to do with you bringing some random around my kids? Like, okay. So then we see in the next scene Tisha trying to coordinate outfits for her and Marcel for Marcel's wine event. He could care less. Like, he like, whatever. You gonna be having on matching outfits and he gonna be way over there. You gonna be way on the other side. So it don't much matter. I just don't feel like he likes her. Like, I don't know. There's, I just don't see it. So Marcel said people always ask if they're gonna if they're gonna carry Martell's wine at Black, their restaurant, and they're like, yeah, of course. And here goes Tisha, of course we are. Oh, he can't work with you, but his wine can be up in that restaurant though. Oh, okay, I get it. So then he was like, there's no comparison. People want to compare. It's like when you have our chocolate champagne, you cheering to success. And when you have Martell's wine, it's like wine down Wednesday, like it's dry, boring, flat. I said, ooh, he's so shady. He more shady than Tisha is. Might be right up there with Miss Wanda if you ask me. And where is Miss Wanda anyway? So Marcel said, Melody was fine when Martell was dating down. But he had to bring up Sheree. He's like, but now she's feeling away because he leveled up. When he was dating down, it was all good. She didn't care. But now she's pretending to be unbothered because he done leveled up now. How is Sheree leveling up? Like, please explain. Melody was the level up. Like, he lost the level up. Like, Melody was up there when it comes down to, like, getting money, finances, resources. We see how far he fell without her. Like, he really fumbled. When I say he messed up bad, like, yeah, they both got their ways. But when the outcome came with the divorce, we saw who was thriving and who was struggling, and it was him. So at Martell's event, the ladies get together, and of course, they're discussing Melody because there's nothing else that they could possibly be talking about besides this woman. Tisha is wondering if Mel will show up. And then Tiffany asks Destiny, she like, I heard y'all got together. Like, are y'all friends? Are y'all cool? Why? And then that was so many episodes back that it was just like, I know we ain't seen Tiffany in a minute, but the last time we seen her, she was asking Melody if her and Destiny are friends. Now you're asking Destiny if her and Melody are friends. Like, stop asking them. They already said at the peace party that they not gonna get cool ever again. Like, I don't even want to hear about it. Then we got to hear about it again at the reunion. Like, I'm good. So Destiny said that Tiffany basically was getting on her nerves in a not so subtle way. And I don't blame her. She getting on my nerves too. Marcel confronted Chris about him, No, actually, I'm sorry. Chris confronted Marcel about him getting all entangled in his, like, cheating scandal, allegedly. And he's like, you know what, you threw me in there, but I was with my wife in Atlanta. Like, I only seen you for about 2 hours. Like, I wasn't down there with you. It wasn't no boys trip. It was no friend trip. I was with my wife. Like, I saw you for a real short time, and that's it. And basically, Marcel wanted Chris to lie for him, but he didn't. So later on, Martell gives his speech, and he was like kind of stuttering at first. I feel like that was, producer pushed so we can make it seem like, oh, is he going to mess up his speech again? We don't want that uncle to set it off again. But, he did good. He showed his grandmother a picture of Miss Inez for the Inez wine and named all 5 of her children, including that uncle and his mama. So Kimmy is sitting with Stormy and Courtney, that's Stormy's husband, and Destiny, and of course Maurice is there. And, Stormy was like, yeah, you were really, emotional at the peace party, and we don't normally see you that way. And she shared that she has stage 2 breast cancer. Every time we hear about it, it's still sad. Even though she rung the bell and she's done her chemo, it's still sad. But Kimmy looks great, by the way. Like, she looks amazing. Like, I felt like, man, I need to step it up a little bit. Like, what am I doing? So Marcel is outside talking to Jalen about it as well, asking if he's okay and how he feels. And I'm glad he is, because one, he seems like a terrible boss from what we saw a couple seasons back with Black. But I'm glad, like, just on a family tip, like, you're checking on him, you're concerned about him, because this is your nephew. She's married to your brother. This is her son, so this is your nephew, and you should check on him. This is a lot. He's an only child. This has to be heavy. It was him and his mom for so long. And Jalen said, like, he only saw his mom cry, like, once. Like, she don't really cry. She don't show emotions, and he just don't know how to feel. And, I heard people saying different things, like, oh, she didn't really show emotion. She had a son. I feel like when you're a single mother of a son, just from my experience, like you feel like you have to be a little harder or a little tougher because you're a woman trying to raise a man. And so you don't want to be, you know, so emotional because you want them to be a man. But that's not always the right way, because then when they grow up, then they can't express their emotions. And then there's an issue in their relationships. So later on after the event, I guess the event was good. I didn't hear nobody mention or talk about the wine, but okay. So Martell goes to Melody's house later on to discuss their daughter moving up a grade. Why would that even be a conversation? Like, okay, not all the kids moving up a grade, because y'all got four. Just the one child moving up a grade. Like, okay, what is there to say? Get the school supplies when school starts. Like, what are we talking about? This could have been a text message. Oh, in camp. And again, this could have been a text message. So then Martell is upset because Melody won't let him in her house. In the confessional, Melody calls Martell petty, but both of y'all are petty. Then Martell calls Melody on the phone because they start arguing because she won't let him in the house. But I don't see why he needs to go in the house. Like, she said she never let him in the house. The last time he wanted to go in the house. Now this time he wants to go in the house. And it's like, if the kids aren't there, then why are you going in the house? Go in the house for what? But he feels like, I let you in my house, so you should reciprocate it. Like, she makes it real clear that she don't want you in that house. Even though, if y'all are going on vacations together, then why can't he come in the house? Like, either way, it don't make sense. But I feel like he just want to come in the house just to see what she's doing. Like, just to see what she got going on. We don't even need to be talking about this in person. Talking about camp. Like, we could talk about this on the phone. They just want to argue with each other because they're not over each other. So then they start arguing, and he left, but he came right back. And Melody was like, look, I'm mad because you were talking about my health. Like, talking about the virus is not no secret. And he had a valid reason. He has a child with the other woman. She was around your kids who had the virus. So he had to tell her that the child could have been exposed. Like, stop it. What you really should have said is, don't mention me to your mistress and your baby mama. Like, don't talk about me to your baby mama, period. That's what you should have just said. So just then, like, after they got done talking about that, they outside arguing. Now he's in the car. She came down to him and started arguing with him in the car. And she like, yeah, but you going around and you saying this, but you really still want me. And it's like, what are we talking about? Like, I thought we were talking about your medical history. And then you talking about you still want me. Like, how did we get here? Like, I feel like they just want each other. Like, y'all want each other. If these cameras wasn't around, they probably would have been back together already. But he like, look, well, all the other men you slept with so many other men. I don't want you. And it's like, what? You just said at the Destin trip, like, you was open to getting back with her. Now she slept with so many men. You had a baby. She slept with so many men, but you had a outside child. It's so disrespectful. And it's like, it don't take long for his true colors to show. Like, she always saying he didn't change, and he always proves her right. Like, she didn't either. She, like, tries to poke at him, but it don't take much for his true colors to come out. Like, you want her back so bad, but the minute you feel away, then here you go, right back to doing what you always do. Like, you're disrespecting her. He done call her a garden tool and everything else before. Like, why would she want to take you back? Then when she don't want to take you back, then you quickly be like, we both moved on. You didn't move on. You just needed a storyline, so you got with somebody on a whole different show. So of course Melody walks off after he disrespected her, and then we see the trailer for the reunion, and we saw cousin Kiki. And I don't want to go over that storyline again, but we're going to do it again. So meet me back here next time. Be sure to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next one.